So the escalation continues from the guy who says everybody else is escalating. But everybody who doesn't have an emotional connection to Saint or isn't dented can see that there's only been one person who has continually escalated over the last 12 months. Now, does everybody have a part to play in this continual cycle? Of course, but there's one side that's poking fun, minus Mr. Pokey, and there's another side that's escalating the rhetoric, and has been doing so prior to anybody else getting involved. People were staying in the lane, and rhetoric was still escalating. Insinuations about genocide, insinuations about multiple content creators, multiple videos made on people who are just ignoring the dude, accusations of racism, homophobia, etc. You've seen all the inferences and the insinuations from this guy. Now, something terrible happened the day before yesterday. Saint's Discord was attacked with CSAM, the most vile content that can potentially be shared to people within a Discord, which is heinous and a criminal offence. But instead of tackling it like an adult, Saint decided to stay on stream, farm the situation, and also insinuate, implicate, and indirectly accuse me and other creators of being at fault or potentially committing federal crimes in regards to what has happened. Bro has gone far too far now. When we talk about escalation, there's only one person who keeps taking it to the next level, and that is Saint. So, I'm going to show you some clips today. Some of them are not exactly fun and funny, but then I'm going to add some funny stuff a little bit later, because we've always got to have a little bit of fun when it comes to this guy. And we have to be the side that keeps it entertaining, rather than taking it to the levels that this guy continues to take it. So, this is just after what happened in his server. And as a human being, I tried to reach out to another human on a human level, and Saint was Saint.
Saint, I'm no fan of you, but this is fucked up. You should get off stream and try to sort this. Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna stay on stream because I got my moderation team handling it. So, no, I'm not gonna be fucking incentivized by terrorists to stop reacting to fucking videos or, like, covering the content. I'm good, bro. Because this is the thing. This is my fucking Discord. It's not my fucking stream. Yeah, why are you suggesting that I fucking stop streaming? This is really sus, actually. Why are you suggesting that I stop streaming?
Why on earth would that be sus? I'm just trying to give some genuine advice to somebody who's going through it right now. Yeah. Saint just flips the script. That's what Saint does, right?
I think it's kind of sus that you're telling me to stop streaming. Sorry, this is what happens when you're on the 15. When you're on the 15 side of the 1v15. This is what happens.
And there we have it. Even with this disgusting thing going on, Saint somehow turns into, I'm winning a 1v15, guys. This is what it's all about. I've even got to post W's when this is happening. Think about that for a second. Think about the content that was posted in his Discord. Think about the people who saw it. Think about the reputational damage. And then think about the potential victims of what could have been in that material. And bro goes back to the 1v15 conversation. Just think about that for a second.
This is your new reputation now. I hope you understand this. This is your future. Everything you say, no matter if it's well-intentioned advice or not, is going to be called into question because of your previous positioning. Everything you say from here on out. I hope you understand that. That's the reputation you built in the space. Congratulations. As you can tell, I'm probably not in a great mood right now. And one of the last things I want to see is messages from somebody that is the reason why this shit is happening. Because you, Pixel Tree, with your videos, with all the shit you've been fucking doing, you're one of the main reasons why this fucking shit is even happening.
You heard it there. I'm one of the main reasons this fucking shit has been happening. I am at fault or to blame for the reason somebody committed a crime on his Discord server. Think about that for a second. We have just made a few videos on this guy after the last year of his continually escalating rhetoric, but now we're to blame for these things as he continues to turn up the temperature, and people don't see this within his community, and there's certain people that are supporting him. Everybody else can see it for what it is. We've had a wrecking ball smashing through the gacha space for the last year. And he has admitted that he will continue to farm people for their dumb takes. But when we farm him back for his dumb takes, we're escalating and we're the cause for crimes happening. Somebody has to speak to this dude. He has no good friends surrounding him. They're all gassing him up to keep doubling down and keep escalating. He needs somebody to put the hand on his shoulder and tell him to step back from the edge. But no, he continues to escalate further and further and further. Soon, there'll be no coming back from the escalations because he's going to say something that could lead to irreparable damage to an individual. Throwing around statements like people are evil, you know, the isms, the phobes, the insinuations that people are sexual criminals, and now the insinuations that people are to blame for potential serious crimes. This is going too far, and there's only one person who keeps stepping it up. Everybody else is either arguing against his lies or just poking fun. It's a bit of entertainment, but Saint can't take that. The one guy who thinks he's built for this, who keeps attacking everybody else, the second people fight back, he has to take it to a whole new level that goes beyond banter, that goes beyond drama, that goes beyond PvP beef between content creators. We are beyond the pale now. And this guy can't even step back and hold his mouth for a second. He just lets it run away with him and starts implying some of the most insane things about other people in the space. Somebody needs to give this dude some advice because he won't listen to anybody else. I don't know who he will listen to, and it feels like the people who he might actually listen to aren't telling him to step back from the edge. They need to, for his sake, as well as everybody else's.
And now you're in my chat trying to like fucking give advice? Go fuck yourself, you dumb retard. Yeah, let's just, hey, let's take a look, bro. Hey, let's take a fucking look, Pixel Tree. This guy, this little fuck was in my chat.
The irony is never lost on me when I hear Saint call somebody the little guy or this little fucker. I couldn't help myself. I know. I'm lowering the bar, but still, you know, to hear this little guy talk about other people being little, it's funny. Calm down now, little fella. Calm down.
Ooh, can I give some advice? Huh. Yeah, you totally are not one of the reasons why this shit is happening, bro. Yeah, you're totally not one of the reasons why this shit is happening, bro.
Again, no, Saint. I'm not one of the reasons this is happening. I don't know why it's happening. Maybe it's happening because nefarious actors have discovered your channel. A channel that's been built on shitting on people for the last year. Yes, yeah, it makes sense. It's my fault because I've been poking fun at you. Because you're the only motherfucker who should be allowed to poke fun at people, right? That's how it is, right? You're the main character. We're NPCs. You can do as you please. And there's no repercussions. But the second somebody responds and something terrible happens that's got nothing to do with any of the creators, it's our fault. Insane jump in logic. But hey, that's what Saint does. Escalation. Turns the temperature up. Remember that. We're supposed to be the ones escalating everything, guys. We're supposed to be the ones escalating everything. And that's exactly why I gave the advice that maybe you should handle this off stream. It was emotional, and rightly so. That doesn't give him the right to start implicating, blaming, and potentially accusing other creators for the terrible thing that happened. If he'd have dealt with this off stream, it wouldn't have continued to escalate. He could have sorted it, he could have oversaw it, and he could have maybe come out of this looking a little bit better. But even in a situation like this, Saint has somehow managed to turn it into him looking worse.
Now you're in my chat like, oh, I feel so bad, bro. Huh. Do you realize how fucked all of you are now? Oh. If there was a chance for forgiveness before, it's like, it's gone now.
Don't worry, I don't want your forgiveness, but I do have one question. Why would I be fucked now? What have I actually done that would mean I would be fucked, Saint? Other than make videos, poking fun at you, showing the clips of the things you have said, farming you for dumb takes, like you farm everybody else for their dumb takes. Why would that mean on fuck Saint? Or are you implying I've potentially done something else there?
Right? Because now I know you guys are the reason why this is happening. I now know that you guys are actually the reason why this is all happening.
Ah, there it is. There it is.
Because guess what? Do you think this happens if you don't escalate the situation with your dog shit videos? You fucking freak. You push this drama forward. You all ganged up on me. You all started this fucking 1v15.
Not true. Bro made a video about me 2 months ago. I didn't even respond. He farmed the shit out of me, like many other people did. And I didn't mind, because I don't really care about that sort of stuff. I'll take insults about the dumb things I say, or perceived dumb things I'll say. The reason I got involved in this was a little bit more than that. So, let's not pretend that you just were in your lane and people came along and started to attack you, Saint. This victim card won't work. Even though this terrible thing has happened, and you were a victim of this, along with everybody else who saw it and the people in the material, you are not a victim for the way we have been clapping back at you. Okay? Just remember that. Separate things.
And now it's at the point where my server's getting raided with this shit. You pushed it forward. I've been trying to end this shit the entire fucking time.
No, you haven't, Saint. You've been going around claiming that you won the so-called 1v9, the so-called 1v15, when in reality, it was you versus me, Cap, and CJ, really. Me and CJ were just clowning on you with funny videos, showing your own words and destroying you with your own words. And Cap was just calling out all the things you said about her that she said were untrue. So the idea, all you've tried to do is end this, is untrue. You tried to clap back. You failed. The only people who believed that you didn't fail were your little community. And that's just how it is. You wanted to continue this, but you fell at the first hurdle. And now all of a sudden, it's too much. Which I agree. What's happened is too much. But that's got nothing to do with us. That's got nothing to do with us at all.
I can't lie. Blaming it on the creators is too... you're getting rebanned, you dumb fucking piece of shit, Itoma. Get the fuck out of my chat. The creators are the one that started this shit. They're the ones that kept pushing these fucking videos out. I've been trying to end this shit the entire fucking time.
I've never once heard Saint say that he wants peace. I have never heard that. Ever. That guy almost thrives as well as in conflict as me. And that's crazy. As a guy where I just lived bloodlust and slaughter for like 6 years straight.
And I did. Then Mr. Pokey decided to keep it going too. Then he kept it going by striking me. And now he's keeping it going by threatening a fucking lawsuit on me. And guess what? You have all been escalating this on your side this entire fucking time. It's just been escalation over escalation over escalation from all 15 of you dumb motherfuckers.
Once again, just not true. Apart from Mr. Pokey escalating it with the strike, which is fair. That was an escalation. Cap hasn't really escalated it. I haven't escalated it. CJ hasn't escalated it. But who are the other 12, 11, 12 people who've escalated it? I don't think there is any. They made a video here or a Twitter post there, and that's it. Or a stream, and that's it. So this idea that there's been 15 people continually escalating this situation is just not true. You've had 2 people memeing on you, 1 person calling you out for the things you said about her, and another person who, granted, has copyright struck you, which is an escalation because it looks like it's going to be a lawsuit. So I'll give you that there. There's escalation in regards to Mr. Pokey. Everywhere else, you're just getting clowned on and the mirror's being flipped back on you. You can even talk about CJ's thumbnails as an escalation, but remember, those were in response to the edit within your video, an edit which you left there for a long time, an edit that you claim you didn't even know about, but you did because you referenced it and left it there for a while, and then removed it quietly. If you'd have thought it was a bad thing, that's a question actually. Do you think that edit was wrong, Saint? Because you took it out, so you must do right. Or you just felt that it was making it look bad. I'd love to know which one it was, because either one, why didn't you acknowledge it prior to people mentioning it when CJ was talking to Tecton in a voice chat? Why didn't you, say, you know what, guys? I've took that edit out of my video publicly. It was wrong. I didn't give the editor the go-ahead to do that, and I'm taking the executive decision to remove it from the video. It takes 30 seconds to cut something like that out of YouTube. And then the hour or so it takes to process the edit on YouTube side. Simple. You didn't acknowledge it though. You made a big thing about when CJ changed his thumbnail. You made a big deal when Mr. Pokey changed his thumbnail, which I think Mr. Pokey should have changed his thumbnail. But he at least acknowledged that he was at fault there. He took some accountability for it. But you removed that edit without so much as a word. And you talk about escalation.
All of you dumb bitches involved in this shit. All of you dumb bitches in this fucking video. Every single one of you are the reason why this shit happened. Because guess what? You all push this shit forward. You all push this fucking shit with all your fucking videos. Photoshopping me on a fucking Jelaine Maxwell, you fucking retard. Couldn't you have ignored it? You're acting like you didn't benefit from... Are you asking me to say thank you to the people that raided my fucking server with CSAM? You stupid little retard.
Once again, Saint showing off his amazing manipulation skills right here. No, that person didn't say that. It's literally in front of you. Couldn't you have ignored it? You're acting like you didn't benefit from all of this. But he twists that person's words into... that he should be thanking the people who shared that material on his Discord after talking about us. And this person is clearly talking about us. Now, this is an indirect accusation, but you see what this is happening here, right? You see exactly what dude's doing here. He's talking about us and our videos and the 1v15. And then somebody says, couldn't you have just ignored them? And he says, what should I be thanking? The people who shared that material on my Discord? Ooh, who are the people? Because let's separate those sentences there, Saint. Let's make a good job of thinking before we speak, right? Let's separate the people you were just talking about, and this person is speaking about those people, and then you go on to the people who have shared that material on your Discord. Okay, that they're separate. Once again, this amazing manipulation that this dude does here, it is literally in front of the guy in plain English, yet somehow he takes their words, manipulates them, and says they've said something that they didn't do. This is like a caught in 4K moment of something that Saint does all of the time to content creators and to people within this space. And this is why people are tired of it, because somebody will say something and Saint will just twist it into that they were saying something else. Take it totally out of context, and his army of dents will march on, believing every single word that comes out of his mouth. This right here is like a microcosm of the things that he does on a macro level, and the reason why so many people have got issues with the guy, because he just manipulates the things that people say and do and tries to turn it into something that fits his agenda to make himself look better, somehow more of a victim, and the other people look worse or terrible. It's textbook Saint right here. That's why I wanted to leave this in specifically, because this was quintessential Saint at his peak right here.
Are you literally saying I should be... Literally not what I said? Oh, what did you say then?
I don't know. What he says on the screen. Am I crazy? Am I crazy?
What did you say then, you enlightened one? What did you fucking mean then? You all look so disgusting after this. Brother, if people are shitting on you, just ignore it. They're committing federal crimes on my Discord, you fucking animal. They're committing crimes on my Discord, you fucking retard. And you're telling me just ignore it? I'm not talking about... Do you think that if these creators didn't do this, cause this 1v15, do you think that I get my shit rated? Do you think that my shit gets rated if these guys don't escalate the situation for the past 3 fucking weeks? Yes or no? I don't know. Cause and effect? I don't know. Are you guys blaming me, or maybe is it time to start blaming the people that have been doing this shit?
And here we go again with the causality statements. Cause and effect. The only effect here is, Saint, people are now finally able to stand up with you with the right ammunition, your own words. Over the last year, a few people have attempted to stand up against you, and you've used out of context clips. You have pre-watched their content and then gone and get multiple different clips of them saying other things to make them look worse. You have inferred things about the people that you can't do that to. You have made insane insinuations about particular people within the space. Now, you are unable to come back because the arsenal, the weapons in the arsenal that we are using is your own words. So you have escalated the rhetoric over and over again. Claim you're winning when everybody knows you're not. And then when something terrible happens that nobody agrees with in your Discord server, you try and attach blame to us because we dared to respond to the crazy things that you have been saying over the last year. This is not our fault. Who knows why those persons or person did what they did, but you can't attach blame to us. Everybody in this space, I think, takes a bit of accountability for things heating up. Apart from you, the main burner in this space, the main person who has continually increased their rhetoric, has continually escalated the conversation, who has turned the heat up day after day after day on people who don't even want the smoke. But now there's some people who are actually wanting the smoke and you don't know what to do. You don't even watch the content. You just state things about us. We're here for clout. We're here for views. We're isms. We're phobes. And now we're potentially the reason for crimes happening. This is true escalation, Saint. Don't you dare sit there and talk about escalation when you were doing this. Have some self-awareness. Have some responsibility in your part in this entire thing. And I'm not even talking about the Discord stuff here. I'm talking about what's happening, the responses you're getting from people. This is why people don't feel bad for you, because you can't take accountability. It's impossible to sympathize with a person like you because you are so vile and quick to say the most venomous, horrid things about people and blame them for federal crimes as well. How on earth can you expect sympathy in that regard? I felt bad when this happened for everybody involved, including you, and I tried to reach out to you on a human level, and you batted it away and then went on to blame me for crimes happening in your Discord. This can't continue, Saint. You can't keep being allowed to get away with this. And that's why people like me now have our lens focused on you for every wild thing you say. Because you don't seem to have people around you that are calling you out for the things you're saying. And you have no self-awareness or ability to take accountability for this whole situation. So it's going to need people watching you now to call you out for all the things you do and say. Because it's gone too far. Far too far now. You are accusing and blaming people for some pretty crazy stuff. And it's just not on.
It's been escalating the entire fucking time because you retards won't learn when to fucking quit. And so you lose every time. You just lose and lose and lose and lose. I don't know how you live. Like, I don't know how you're able to, like, fucking reconcile with yourself being this big of a fucking failure. You make hundreds of videos about me, create so much misinformation out of and you still just lose. And so now you're committing federal crimes on my fucking Discord.
Even with all this happening, the dude still has to make himself feel better by saying, we lose, we lost, he won. This is where his mind is now. Even with these things happening, even with crazy things going on that he's trying to blame us for, he still wants to portray this situation that I won this drama. He still wants to break it down to being about gacha games. He still wants to pretend to himself, and if he keeps repeating it, it will be truth, because obviously he has a bigger audience, and I do believe that if he thinks if he keeps saying it over and over again, I won, people will think, Well, he won, because that's all that matters to Saint. Not this crazy shit going on. Just who won. To make himself look like the victor in this whole situation, because he's created a coliseum around him, and he's a gladiator in the middle of the coliseum. And guess what? In coliseums, they don't like losers, and he refuses to be seen as a loser. That's all he thinks about. Even if he's getting his cheeks clapped left, right, and centre, dude still thinks he's posting W's. Even with this going on, his thing that he goes to is, well, I win. This is how I win. This is where, for me, my opinion of Saint has gone even lower. And it was pretty low. But with something going on like this, his first thought was, how do I farm it? How do I make the other CCs look worse? And how do I make myself look better? This entire situation was avoidable if he'd have just got off stream when it happened and let his emotions calm down, because I understand him being angry, wanting to vent and being emotional in a situation like this. But being live was not the right call. Using it to farm it and not wanting to get off stream because he didn't want to look like he was being pressured into not streaming. The dude stayed on stream, blamed us, indirectly, potentially accused us of federal crimes as well, but at the very least blamed us for federal crimes, and then went on to crash out for the next hour or so, which the crash out is understandable, but he shouldn't have done it live. The dude should have got off stream, collected himself, got this stuff reported, and worked on fixing the situation, stepping back from the edge. But that is not in this dude's vocabulary. This dude cannot cool things down. Tectone has even offered to set up a call with everybody involved, get all the content creators talking in an attempt to at least turn down the temperature. Even if it doesn't make people friends, nobody's expecting anybody to be friends out of this situation, but at least make it less intense. But he's already shot that down because he says he won't get into a voice call with somebody who doesn't understand communism. That's his excuse. Because CJ doesn't understand communism, we can't talk about this whole situation now. The mentality of it baffles me. He doesn't want it to calm down. He wants it to continue on. He just wants us to back down. And he's hoping that with this continued pressure and repeating this mantra now, that we will back down. I will never take blame for this stuff because I am not at blame for this stuff. I will never take accountability for the raising in rhetoric because I didn't raise the rhetoric. I'll take my accountability in the fact that I got involved. I replied. I made videos on the dude. I mocked and I meaned on him. That's my responsibility. And if that makes me look worse, that's fine. I personally think majority of my content was actually hilarious. The memes were great, man. The clips were great. Saint made himself look bad and I just turned it into funny little edits and people enjoyed it. But that means I am to blame for a federal crime. Escalation.